I'm James.
I'm Dave.
I'm Zach.
I'm Matt.
And we're American authors. And welcome to Universal Backstage. Dave, what's your hidden talent?
I can beat all these guys in every sport.
Whoa.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know about that. You can
Other
lose
than,
to us in
other than basketball.
You can lose to us in every sport.
I will always lose in basketball.
His
I'm
hidden
not
talent
tall.
is he can lose to all of us in every sport.
No, I beat him in every sport.
I could beat you in a handstand contest. That's my hidden talent. I'll just stand here on my hands for hours.
My hidden talent is wishing I knew how to ride a bike. I don't know how to ride a bike, so...
Really?
So that's, yeah.
I
that's
think-
kind
I
of the
think
opposite of a
that's
hidden
genetic.
talent.
That's not a talent.
So, but I actually think it takes talent to not know how to ride a bike.
It does.
'Cause I don't understand how I don't know how.
You know a lot about tequila. That's a talent.
No, that's more of a life-acquired skill.
You know what the talent is?
Experience.
You know what the talent is? It's being stubborn enough to never learn.
I'm very
Yeah.
stubborn.
That's the talent. There's a lot of there's a lot of great emotions and feelings that went into making this album. And every song is just so different as far as the influences that went into each individual track. And but I think overall, the album's called Oh What a Life, and it really sums up the entire body of work because it's it talks about the good times and the bad times and the struggles and what we've had to give up in life to pursue our dream of being musicians. So I think
It is very
really
hopeful.
that, yeah.
It's,
I think
it's a very
I guess
hopeful album.
yeah, hope.
You're super strong.
Yeah.
You guys are super hot.
Yeah, you have great hair, really great hair. Yeah,
Your triceps are really nice.
I think compliments, but as far as musical compliments, what we hear a lot is,
You guys are super hot.
oh yeah, just we'll get a lot of people will take especially our single Best Day of My Life and they'll use it in so many occasions. We'll get requests for people using it in their weddings. Birthdays, births, when people have children, just all these different walks of life. Like when people when people have a baby, they're like putting the song like, "Hey, I just had a child and
Push.
I had Best Day of My Life on repeat while I was in the hospital." But it's like,
I think the strangest, though, is when you find that they do them for funerals. That's really strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
there's a lot. I mean,
We
it's
hear,
just so many.
actually, the most we hear is like, I was making love to my boyfriend, girlfriend last night, and we just had your song on repeat. I used to keep stuff all the time. They call it being a pack rat. And I used to keep stuff all the time that I found, it's just too much of a hassle, so now I just try to throw everything away.
What do you have, Dave?
My grandfather, before he passed away, he gave me a little stuffed dog that you can flip his mouth and eyebrows so that he's on attack mode or he smiles. It's just funny. It's a little thing that I just have in my house in Jersey that I don't live in anymore. But
I think the main thing that I still have is the first guitar that I ever received. My father built for me, and I think he built it for me when I was 6 or 7. I was really young, and so I still have that. He built it, yeah. He took a bunch of different parts, and some of it he built from scratch, and he put it together. And even on the headstock, rather than there being a brand, it says his name. So I still have that guitar.
that's cool.
When I was 10 years old, I was at a friend's house, and I was playing drums in his garage, and the police came, and they told me to be quiet, And this was actually in a town that was so small that it actually made the newspaper. I clipped it out, and I've kept it all that time. I still have it.
Free spirit.
Humor. Good sense of humor.
Passion.
Sexy.
I think that goes, all of us can agree on all those.
We started between 2006 and 2007, kind of all meeting together and coming together and playing music together in 2007. And then we decided to drop out, I think, in 2009. And then we moved to Brooklyn, New York in 2010.
We learned a lot about music theory. We learned a lot about how music has these rules. But the best thing we learned was that you can break them, and just make your own way.
I mean, we're definitely a band from Brooklyn, and, a lot of our inspiration is from New York City, and it's from Brooklyn, and it's from our neighborhood and whatnot.
The thing is, Brooklyn is so eclectic in the artists and people that move to it. So you have every single thing. So I guess everyone has their own. You can find your own individual little spot in the music scene in Brooklyn, and you can move in any direction you really want. So that's the cool part about it. Well, it's dirty.
Yeah, it's dirty.
A lot of warehouses.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. I mean, it's definitely an up-and-coming neighborhood, So it was traditionally, full of warehouses, very industrial, and now a lot of people are moving in and they're taking over these old warehouses and turning them into like artist lofts and like performance spaces and whatnot. So it's very cool. It definitely has that kind of rustic, old school industrial feel, but with a lot of like hidden gems and different bars and restaurants and shops and everything opening up in this neighborhood.
The rent's too high.
It's getting really high.
But only because it's changing, because so many artists are living there now. It's becoming so popular, and now it's changing and become more expensive. But traditionally, it was a very inexpensive neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
One thing about it that's very, eclectic is you have to watch where you walk, because people don't clean up after their dogs.
I don't know if that's eclectic. That's just gross.
I think with the United States, it's very cool. Great Mexican food. That's the best.
Best Mexican food outside of Mexico.
I think what's cool is you have, each state can be very different. There are so many different cities. There's so many different.
I like what you said.
Very cool.
Mexican food, what we hate, what they do with our taxes.
No, in the States, there's so many different parts, from desert to lush to Florida to
the landscape is so different, which is amazing.
When you drive through the Rockies, it's one of the most beautiful places. Like you see these huge stone monuments just like standing by themselves, and like it's really, really beautiful.
We had one drive where it was all the way across America, so we drove it all together, and we went from the city through the snow into the mountains, and then it became so nice when we got to the West Coast. It was hot and sunny. You just have everything. It's just so crazy. Just one drive.
But New York's the best city.
Yeah.
New York is the greatest city. It's awesome. Most annoying habits. Let's see. James snores really loud.
That's not a habit.
Well,
it's not something you control.
Yeah,
you
can get a little nose strip. There are some things that you can do.
He farts really loud.
I fart really loud in the morning. Dave doesn't pick up after himself.
I don't pick up after myself.
Matt
complains about all of us all the time.
Yeah, Matt complains.
The guy who doesn't even complain once right now.
You're good. Yeah. I was obsessed with Fall Out Boy. Growing up, they were very influential in a lot of different ways. I think lyrically they're amazing. I think musically at the time they were just like new. Something very fresh about it, and it's really cool because now we've been in instances where we've met them and hung out with them, and just talked to them like I'm talking to you. And, to me, that's just mind-blowing. Because I would have never thought that growing up.
And if they see this interview, they're going to know how much of a crush we have on all of them.
Don't tell them.
I'd say the coolest person we met for me is definitely, not a musician, but Jay Leno.
Jay Leno?
Yeah. You know who that is?
Oh, all the big late-night TV hosts in America.
Because you remember seeing them when you were little kids. These TV hosts. And then you play on you play on their show when later in life, and it's awesome.